Hi, Bilingual Kids families. This is Emily, and I have been working with Senora Z on some crafts for her online learning. So today we're going to get started with a shelter-in-place piece of artwork. You can see right here, we're going to be using all of our family members' hands, tracings of them, to create this little work of art. And it says in Spanish at the top, "When the world stayed apart, my place was with my family." So this is what we're going to be creating today, and we need you to do it when all of your family members are present, or to get them separately if you can. So we're going to start. We're going to need a sheet of white paper, which I have printed in Spanish, the little saying, and I put my name here, and then also the date, because this is kind of a commemorative piece. And then you're going to need different shades of construction paper or printer paper, or if you don't have that, you can simply use white paper. We'll be tracing your hands on there, and you can color the hand in and use it the same way that we're going to be doing with the colored paper. So you will also need scissors, a pencil, glue, and possibly crayons. So like I said, we'll first start off with, this is our backdrop. I've printed the saying in Spanish, and then I'm going to keep that down for later. Now I've collected the different hands of all my family members. This is my husband Andrew, my son Connor, and my youngest son Aiden. So here's our different hands. I'm going to show you how I did my hand, which was to simply trace around. And then after that's done, we're just going to cut it out. Now there's a couple of different ways you can do this depending on how old your student is. So if you have a younger student, you can just simply cut out the hands and lay them down. But then there's kind of another step which makes it really cool, which is the hearts in the center of the hand. It might be difficult for our youngest students, but mom and dad can give it a shot, or you can just simply use the hands as long as you can see the fingers from behind. So first we're going to cut out all of our fingers, and when we're finished, we're going to give a quick erase to any of the lines that might show through, because we want to get rid of all of those. We don't want to see those lines. I don't know about your family, but my family has been creating a lot of art and music during this time. It's been a lot of personal family loving time. It's been great. So now I'm just going to simply erase any lines that I see. There we go. So there's the silhouette of my hand. So now I'm going to take the hands and line them up, my husband's being the largest, and then mine, and then my son Connor, and then my son Aiden. So see how you can still see each hand individually? So you want to be able to see the different fingers. Because the one thing that I did was I labeled, if you can see this, I'll get a little closer. I labeled the fingers of each different person, because especially if you have young children, the younger kids, their hands will grow, so they can see exactly what the size of their hand was when they get older, if you say this. We have memory boxes at our house, which we take things out regularly. So now we're going to work on the heart in the hand at the center. So the smallest hand is going to have the largest heart. And we're going to start by simply, like I don't know if when you do a heart at school, you usually fold a piece of paper in half, and then you can draw it, or you can actually I just do it from feel, but there's half of a heart. So if you draw half of a heart and you cut it out, you have a full heart. So that is the solid part of the heart, but we're actually going to be using the negative space. The space is created when you take the heart away, or this part of the heart. So the next thing that we're going to do with our hand is we're going to take our first hand, which is Aiden's, and we're going to fold it a little bit, fold it just in the center, just kind of create a crease, okay, almost in half, but not fully. We're not going to, here's our hand. We're going to fold it like this. It's not going to be perfect. Now, if you don't feel comfortable just cutting, you can draw that half a heart, which kind of looks like a question mark almost. You can draw your half heart on there, or you can simply just cut the half heart. So I'm actually going to make mine a little bit bigger. This is going to be our biggest heart. Each heart is going to see through a little bit of the other heart. So I want to make it about this big so that I have a good portion of that hand. You want it to be almost the whole inside center, but you want to make sure that you don't cut into the fingers, otherwise it'll fall apart. Okay, so there's our first one. So now I'm going to place Connor's hand over the top of, Aiden's hand over the top of Connor's hand, and I'm going to line those guys up. And I'm going to simply trace that heart right onto Connor's hand. Okay, you can see I traced the heart right there. So now I am going to draw this same heart just a little bit smaller on one side. Just a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to take this point of the heart, the pointy part, down to this pointy part, and I'm going to draw a line to connect. Okay? Just like this. So it kind of looks like this. So here's our original line on the outside. Here's the new line I just drew, and there's the line here that goes from the top to the bottom. That's the pointy part. Now we're going to fold on that line. So right on that line, we're going to fold. So now you can see there's our heart there. And on the inner heart, not the first one we drew, the original one that we used as a template, we're going to erase that one. We don't want to do, we want it to be, this heart's going to be a little bit smaller than this heart that we cut out. So we're going to erase the outer edge so you just have the middle heart in, and then you're going to cut that baby out. Okay. Now, get all my erase marks off here so you don't see any of the lines. Okay, now you can see if you put one heart over the other, it kind of peeks through so you can see both the green and the pink heart slipping through, and you can see the hands, the fingers over the top as well. So now I'm going to take this hand and kind of line it up where I want the fingers to go. So now I like where the fingers are right here. So now I'm going to take that pink heart, the inner heart, and take the green one right off and draw that smaller pink heart right there. Okay? I can put my pink heart to the side. Now, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw a line from this point to this point. So from the pointy part of the heart to the other part. And I'm also going to make this heart just a little bit smaller too. So you can see, let's see, get it up there for you. Okay, so then this is our first line that we traced. So we drew the smaller line, and then we have that line in the center that goes all the way down. Okay, the line in the center is where we're going to fold it. So we're going to fold it right here. Okay. And then we're going to erase this outer heart, the original one that we traced. We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to cut on the smaller heart, right? So, cut on the smaller heart. So it comes out just like that. Now, as you can see, you get right up on here, this line out here, that was the original size of the heart that was cut right before it. So now we're going to erase that line. You can see this heart is a little bit smaller, so they keep peeking through. Okay, erase this line. And now we're going to do our final and biggest hand, which is also going to be, you can line up our hearts, it's going to be the smallest heart on the biggest hand. And then we're going to put the orange one here. See how they all line up? Now we're going to take this one, decide where we want our fingers to be. Turn it just a little more. And then we're going to trace the most inner heart right onto that blue. And one more time, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to draw from the point, the inside point of the heart to the outside point, and then you're going to draw on one half a smaller heart. Just like that. Then we're going to fold it on that line. And then we're going to cut out that heart, the smaller heart, not the outer one, but the smaller little one. Okay, so there is our smallest heart on our largest hand. So the next thing we're going to do is erase your old line. Again, we're going to line them up to make sure that we did everything correctly. So now the cool thing is you can see all the fingers at the top and you can see all the hearts in the center. And now we're going to glue that to our white paper. And we're going to start the exact opposite of the way that we cut out hearts. Instead of cutting out we cut out from the smallest to largest, and now we're going to glue down from the largest to the smallest. So we're going to start with our biggest heart. Oops. Let's glue here. And we're going to put glue all around each finger. You want to make sure that you don't put up too much glue. You want to go quickly, because sometimes when people go from here and they let it glob like this, it gets to be too much glue. So we're just going to we're going to put the edge of it right against the paper. And we're going to also go around the heart. So this is how much glue you should be using, just like that. Okay? And then we're going to glue down our first hand. Make sure you smooth it out real good. Okay, you want to make sure that you don't accidentally put glue on the wrong side. Okay, so we're putting our hands down on this side, so we're gluing on the opposite side. So in order for the hand's going to go like this, the glue on this side, so when you flip it over, boom, it's perfect. So now we're going to use the opposite side of the hand again. Put glue on each finger and the base and around the heart, just like that. And then we're going to line up this heart so it's almost equal all the way around. There's my hand. See how we can see the orange peeking through the blue, or the blue peeking through the orange rather? Okay. Now we're going to take our next smallest hand, the opposite side again. Oh boy, my glue is not enjoying myself. That's why sometimes I like to take a paper cup and keep my glue turned upside down, so I don't have to do this every time, which I forgot to do this time. Okay, here we go. Again, keep your glue close to your paper so that you're not globbing too much on. Move as quickly as you can. That's some expert gluing tips. Around your heart, just like that. And then line up your heart so that the other heart is centered, the orange heart is centered right in it. Just like that. See how each layer you can see the hearts inside. Okay? And then we're going to take our smallest hand, which is my son Aiden's hand. And again, we're going to go around each finger and the heart. And you want to get it close to the edge, not so much that you get paint all over, but if you get it, you'll know when you take things out of your if you have a box that you keep all your memories in, if you take it out like 3 years later, you'll start to see, where the edges didn't get glued down. So that's why edges are so important. Then we're going to glue that guy down right there in the center. A little too much. Okay. Now, so there are all of our hands. So I wanted to make mine commemorative, so I wrote each person's name on the hand. So here's Aiden. And then I'm going to write his age, which is 15. Connor, who is 16. Then me, Emily, who is... And then finally, Andrew. And we won't out Andrew's age either. Okay, and there's our final craft. So we have our Spanish saying, we have all the hearts that kind of show through. So it's the heart of your family, and then the size of everyone's hand. So that's our Corona craft, and we'll see you next time.